I'm Kelsey Paul.
I'm Jonathan Paul.
This is our testimony. Most of you know our daughter, Autumn Paul. I got pregnant in 2015. I went to the doctor to confirm our pregnancy, and there was basically an empty sac. They said I was having a miscarriage, and I was to come back 2 weeks to confirm the miscarriage. And when I went back the 2 weeks later, there was a strong heartbeat and a growing baby. So at 12 weeks, I went to a specialist just to get a normal ultrasound to check on the baby, make sure there was nothing wrong with it. And the doctor came in and said, "This is looking bad. There's something wrong with the baby." And I immediately started crying. I didn't really know what to feel. And the doctor turned on the ultrasound and he showed me the baby. And he pointed to this kind of shadow around her. And he said, "This is called a cystic hygroma. It's a fluid-filled sac and it's growing all around your baby." He said, "This is one of the biggest ones I've seen." He said that she most likely was not going to survive because her heart was pumping so much fluid to her body and this mass. And he said if she does live, she will have severe chromosome abnormalities and she'll be severely deformed.
So I got a call, I was at work. Kelsey was at the doctor's office. She said, "You need to come up here, there's something the matter with the baby." So I didn't know what to think. I thought the worst. So we get to the doctor's office. Kelsey's there. She's pretty tore up.
So we went home and we were faced with the task of telling our family or keeping it inside and just seeing how it played out. And we could not keep our composure. They knew something was wrong. We were at the appointment for a really long time. So we told our family and we decided we were not going to tell anybody. We just didn't know how to tell people. We didn't really understand what was wrong with our baby. And we got a call from Pastor Todd. He was telling us that, he supported us and he was here for us. We got a call from Joanna Decker. She was telling us the same thing. She was here for us. And we really just prayed about it that night, and we decided we wanted the prayers for our baby. 4 weeks went by and we went back to the doctor, and I had been wondering if this baby was even still alive. He turned on the ultrasound. He's very quiet. We didn't know what to expect. And he just started smiling. He said, "A miracle's happened. Her cystic hygroma has shrunk 1/4 of the size that it was." And you want to be happy, but then you still question, okay, it's still there. What does this mean? And so we decided to get an amniocentesis done to test her cells for any abnormalities. And it came back with trisomy 21, known as Down syndrome. And I was a little scared. I thought about how this impacts our life, our kids' lives, our friends' lives, our families' lives. It would be different than just having our typical boys. And so a few weeks go by, we go to another ultrasound and he found 2 large holes in her heart and a septal defect. And he said, "She's going to need open heart surgery." My pregnancy goes by, we comes to 38 weeks, and we went in to have our planned C-section. And I remember I was crying during the whole thing just because of the unknown. I didn't know what to expect, what she was gonna look like, any of it. It's just scary. And I remember the nurse saying that she was born, she was here, and I didn't hear her cry. Like I had heard my boys cry, and all the emotions started again. I didn't know, is she okay? And before I knew it, the doctor was like, "You have a big baby girl." And I was like, "Big? She can't be big." And they're like, "She's 9 pounds." And I thought, this baby's supposed to be tiny, and here she is. She's big, she's healthy. A couple of weeks go by, and we notice she's sweating more. She's not waking up hardly. We take her to the doctor, and he tells us that she is in heart failure at 6 weeks old.
So we were both just kind of an emotional wreck at this point. We didn't know how much more we could take. Definitely was trying on our faith.
A couple of months go by, and the doctor says it's time to do heart surgery. And that's terrifying because although you've had several months to prepare, and then it's actually here, it's going to happen. We went to church the day that we left for Kansas City, and about 50 members came out to our church and huddled around our family and just said prayer after prayer for Autumn and the doctors and the heart surgery. And that gave me so much peace and comfort. I left our driveway knowing that everything was going to be okay and not to worry about it. The day of heart surgery arrives, and at 9 a.m. I handed over Autumn to the heart surgeons. And I expected to cry, but I didn't. I was so peaceful about it. I was calm. I didn't worry about it. And surgery lasted 8 hours, and they finally came and told us that she was in recovery and we could go see her. Seeing Autumn on a ventilator hooked up to all kinds of lines was scary and sad, but we had prepared ourselves so we knew what to expect. She was in recovery for 2 weeks, and we finally got to come home.
She was like a new baby after surgery.
We always say that that's the day she truly was given life, because she was awake. She automatically started eating her bottle. She didn't need the feeding tube. She was smiling, and now she's crawling, she's standing, she is waving, clapping, saying "Mama, Dada." You would never be able to tell that where she started at and where she's at now.
She's sassy. So through our journey, we have literally been on our all-time low to our all-time high. And, we definitely couldn't have done this without this church, without all of you praying for us, and most certainly without God. And no matter what life throws at you, with God and your faith, you can get through anything.